Joe Biden stepped down last Sunday. He stepped down last Sunday and it shocked the world. Everybody was like, whoa, what's going on? Of course he stepped down. He should have been stepped down. You know, everybody had their opinions, or a lot of people had their opinions on it. This is and then pretty much everybody's assuming that the Democratic Party is going to go with Kamala Harris because mostly all of the major donors and the delegates and all that, they're riding with Kamala now, right? Kamala Harris. This is what like threw me off for a second now, right? And it made me think, what's the point of a primary election if the person who everybody votes for that wins that primary election can just drop out and we don't have to vote on another person? They just can pick anybody they want and say, this is who's going to be on the ballot. That confuses me now. I went to read about, that made me go do research on what's the purpose of a primary election and all this type of stuff. I really don't, I think there needs to be some serious change around that, or some serious explaining to the American public how they can just say, all right, actually, we're not even going to care who you want on the ballot. We could just put anybody we want there. So now I've pretty much figured out that the primary election is almost like marketing, like a survey type of thing. It's not the actual choice for who's going to run for president for that political party. It's actually the political party saying, who do you guys, the people, who do y'all think should run on this ticket as this party's leader, right? They don't pick they pick who they want at the national convention thing. And they can really pick anybody. So let's just say, if they wanted to, Joe Biden was chosen at the primary. The Democratic Party, Democratic National Convention could have came back and said, or they could have came at this event and said, hey, actually, we want to choose Hillary Clinton, and then she could run if she wanted to. They could choose anybody they want. I mean, they just don't do that because normally, that would be against what the people just voted for. But now we're in a situation where they're about to put a person in there that the people did not vote for. Right? Now, last week I said I don't think that Kamala has a chance to beat Donald Trump. It looked to me like it was about to be a landslide. I didn't see. But then when they announced that she was going to be the choice, I seen a lot of energy shift. It didn't seem like, it seems like she has a lot of people backing her. And it seems like a lot of the people who were saying anybody but Trump, it seems like they are standing on it and they're saying, we are still anybody but Trump. I don't care if I don't like Kamala. I don't care if what she does. I'm still going to vote for her because I don't want Trump in there. To me, I was thinking before she would lose in a landslide because I didn't think that they would actually apply that to a woman that identifies as a Black and Indian woman, right? Jamaican and Indian woman. I didn't think that they would apply that. Now, of course, a lot of people are saying it right now, but we'll see when November gets here if they actually feel that way, because like we talked about last week, 81 million people voted on for Joe Biden in the last election. That was 7 million more than the amount of people that voted for Donald Trump. So if that same amount of people or a similar number shows up for Kamala this time, she could actually wash Donald Trump up the same way. But we'll see if that many people actually show up and vote, because last time they ran with the same platform, pretty much anybody but Trump type of thing. Or we got to beat Trump, or we can't let Trump get another 4, or they did that. That was their whole political strategy. They didn't really use policy so much. What they used was, hey, the boogeyman is about to come back. Let's get rid of him, right? So Kamala is looking good right now in the polling and in the public perception. And I know that the Republicans are doing what they can to pretty much say, like, she's a bum. And, you heard what Trump said. He doesn't think she's worthy of even pronouncing her name right and all this type of stuff. They're trying to discredit her, but I'm not even really looking at what the Republicans are doing. I'm looking more so at what the people who vote with Democrat. And it seems like all of them are keeping the same energy of, I'm voting anybody but Trump. So then we get to the fundraising. Kamala raised, let's pull this up. Let me pull up. Kamala raised like over 100 million in like 3 days. Let me see, what's the number that they have for this? She did a Zoom call yesterday, right? It was like white women for white women to answer the call. Not she didn't do it, but white women like organized a Zoom call. It was the largest Zoom call in the history of Zoom, right? 164,000 people raised $2 million in 90 minutes. That's actually very crazy. 90 minutes. It took them 90 minutes to raise $2 million. So the fundraising for Kamala Harris is like off the charts right now, right? Like it's unheard of. Let me see. I think the number was 130. Let me see how. Dang, I can't find an article exactly on how, like, the exact number, but it's like 120 plus $million in like 4 days since she's been pretty much announced as the person that's going to take this thing. So now it started out with black women doing a Zoom call, right? And like 44,000 black women got on a Zoom call, and they raised like $1.5 million in 24 hours. Then black men got on a Zoom call. It was like 46,000 of them, and they raised like $1.5 million in 24 hours. So then people start calling on, all right, white women, it's y'all turn. Like, what are y'all gonna do? And they raised $2 million in 90 minutes. So I seen let me see, I just screenshotted something. What did it say? Okay, never mind. I can't find. I don't know what. Okay, so yeah, so they're raising money crazy for her. The energy around Kamala seems to be extremely passionate and fiery, and I think Donald Trump is about to back out of the debate that they actually had set up for September, right? So they were supposed to debate. This was going to be Kamala's chance to really embarrass Trump, show how stupid he was, show how unintelligent that he was, and it seems like he's a little bit scared. I see Trump already responded with the whole because Joe Biden is scared and he backed out. Now I don't want to do the debate on ABC because ABC is corrupt. Now this debate needs to happen on Fox News, right? So that's Trump's. I don't know if that's Trump's way of kind of saying, like, if it's not on Fox News, then I'm not doing it. But it seems like he's hinting at that he's not going to do this debate, and he don't respect Kamala enough to really do it. But really, we know Kamala's going to get up there, and she's a lawyer. She's a former attorney, or I guess you always an attorney, I guess, once you become one, but I don't know. But she's going to use her knowledge in arguing and debating to make him look crazy. She didn't actually get to debate him before because she lost at the primaries to Joe Biden last time, so she never got to go head up with him. So I think that Trump will run. If he's smart, he'll stay away from that debate. There's no point in him doing it. He needs to keep running this race. But I do know, as we talked about last week also, Democrats in America outnumber people that vote Democrat outnumber people that vote Republican. That's why pretty much most of the most heavily populated states normally tend to lean Democrat. Like Texas, I think is the biggest state for sure that does not, but they flip-flop though. You know what I'm saying? You can go, some of their biggest cities in Texas are Democrat. It's normally those like smaller areas. So Democrats outnumber Republicans in this country. So just based on the numbers alone, if they could just get the Democrats to show up for Kamala, she can beat Trump. Now, right now, it's looking promising. Let me see what the people are saying right here. Let me see. Oh, this is going backwards to Jerome says she's crazy. She mad she ain't a judge anymore. By the way, she's mad. And why is love not a judge? I don't know. She left Middle Georgia to come to the big city. They have to explain how the donors donate. As long as she's on the ticket, she gets the money. Well, see, this is the thing about the money that was raised for Joe Biden. This is what I've been seeing the political people say. The money that was raised initially for the Joe Biden-Kamala Harris campaign, she can't get all the money, but she can get part of it because part of the money went for her. So she could get like 20% of that money or something like that. I think they said they raised $200 million and she can get like 30 to 40 million of that money. So she can't get all of it because she wasn't the totality of that ticket, but she can get some of it. But that's just from the money they raised with Biden. All the money that she just raised this week is hers. By the way, she has not named a VP candidate yet, or she hasn't named who she'll run with yet. So that's a big news that everybody's waiting to drop. Jerome said, God bless everybody is okay, but if Biden died, we would be in the same situation. Yep. If Harris doesn't pick Shapiro, she will lose. Now, You tell me why she should pick Shapiro. I feel like she should pick Newsom, and I'm hearing people say that Newsom turned her down already, but I think Newsom is the pick that could help her win. Now, y'all let me know why Shapiro was the pick. Stacy said, yeah, she definitely needs to pick him now, not in 2 weeks. Yeah, she needs to definitely not wait. That would be a huge wave. What does this say? They need to do that tonight. Regular, I'm glad you recognize the chat and answer questions too. Yep. I'm from PA too. You are going to get views later. You are the man. Appreciate that. Jerome, we have to conquer Florida and Texas. Yeah, Texas is huge because there's a lot of votes there. And they because their population is so high in Texas, they have a lot of electoral votes, electoral college votes. Don't ask for a super chat to answer. Wait, what? Don't ask for a super chat to answer? What does that mean? Oh, you're saying I don't do that, right? Answer questions. Shapiro, meant to say he doesn't ask for money to. Oh yeah. No, I don't. You don't have to super chat me for me to answer the questions. But yeah, Kamala has a strong. She saw her first week as what we assume will be the nominee is very, very, very strong. I'm not gonna lie. Last week I was wrong. I said I didn't think that she could do it, and I'm not gonna lie. That's not looking like the case at this point. First of all, Trump. That's not looking like the case. I'm just put it like that. And it honestly has nothing to do with Trump. It has everything to do with the fact that the Democratic Party has enough voters to outnumber the Republicans, just flat out outnumber them, right? This is another thing. Voting for the president, of course, is a federal thing, right? But voter registration and voter eligibility is a local thing. So when they have all of these people coming into the country, these new people coming into the country, what makes them eligible to vote or not vote is based on what that locality, what that area says is legal to vote, right? So that's how you can look at an election like the Trump versus Hillary Clinton, and there's like 60, it's like the final vote is like 63 million to 61 million or something like that. It's like, it's in the 60s somewhere, right? And then just 4 years later, there's another like 20 to 30 million people voting because the vote is now 81 million to 74 million. Like, where did all these new voters come from? Are they trying to say that many more young people registered and then showed up to vote? Because the voter participation is still around the same number. It's around 60% for the country, right? Of registered voters who actually show up to vote. So it's not like voter participation went up to increase the numbers that much. So how did we get the vote? Or how do we get that many more voters in 4 years? Unless they're trying to say another 20 million 18-year-olds signed up and voted. I don't know about that. I think a lot of that is locations making it legal for new migrants to come into the country and vote. And that's not me saying that I'm for or against it. I'm just confused as to how that many more voters came into the fold. Let me read here. Do you think Trump is going to get a chance to change his vice president from Vance? It's not looking good. That was a huge mistake. First of all, it seems like Trump picked Vance before he knew that Vance was anti-Trump beforehand, right? And I know Trump is looking around at his team like, hey, y'all didn't tell me that this dude don't like me. Y'all just let me pick him. First of all, J.D. Vance is not the type of person that he don't even have the same type of charisma as Trump, first of all. Secondly, he seems like he's way in over his head at these speeches and stuff like that. I don't even get how they came to him at all because I don't know. He's not from a sexy place that's going to get people like riled up to want to vote. Like he's from the middle of Ohio. I'm from Ohio too. So I know that it's been a long time since Ohio has had a politician to make a lot of noise on the national level. Like it's something about it. Jerome said, I wish you did your live later. You have a lot of competition right now, but you do a super good job. Yeah. We're not really worried about the numbers right now. Like, just like the video, people will come as they come. It's all good. Stacy said his son had him pick VP. Vance is a strange choice, no matter how you look at it. Vance is a very strange choice. You got people out here with this like, yo, JD Vance is the most successful person under the age of 40. Like, where are they getting this from? It's like, just because he's not the most successful person under the age of 40. So I don't even know where they got it from. I know that it is looking weird, but I can't talk about this Kamala Harris thing without talking about some of this like wild propaganda that I'm seeing on social media about black men. I can't believe that the Democratic Party's way of getting black men to vote is by trying to make it so that we're the enemy. Right? They want black men to be the enemy of the Democratic Party so bad, and I'm just confused by why is that their tactic? Right? Why is that their tactic? Let's look at this thing. This Nerd Nash said black men. And so what I have up here right now are Twitter screenshots, right? It says black men get low. That means pretty much because Kamala became the nominee, we knew that they were about to start attacking us for no reason at all. And that's exactly what started happening. This person also had a tweet screenshot that says, I truly believe that most white women have learned their lesson and would do the right by Kamala. It's the black men we have to worry about. Under here, the next tweet down says, and this is from Smith, whoever that is, Smith, whatever. Y'all worried if white liberal women will vote for Kamala, but who we really need to keep our eyes on are black men. Listen, once again, they are making black men, and this is the same mistake Stacey Abrams made. Now, fortunately for Kamala, she's not the one that came out and said this. Stacey Abrams herself came out and called out black men as if we didn't vote for her at almost 90% the first time. Now, why are you thinking that this is some type of outreach that's going to you're going to reverse psychology black men into voting for you by telling black men that we're pretty much the enemy number one of the Democratic Party? Once again, black men are the only group that supports the Democratic Party more than black men is black women. We support the Democratic Party. By support, I mean vote. We vote for the Democratic Party at a higher rate than every other group in this country. Over 85% every single time. So how is it possible that every time an election comes around, they find a way to make us the enemy of the people when just because we don't vote for them at the same rate as black women, they vote like a few more percent higher than us. That's it. We vote for them at a rate like 20% higher than any other group. So this type of strange outreach that y'all try to do every single election is why a lot of black men are not going to vote for her no matter what. No matter what, because of this whole thing right here. Now, it's not just black men. There's a lot of black women that also don't like Kamala Harris. So don't get it twisted like this is just a black men thing. There's a lot of black women that are saying, I'm not voting for her. She was right there with Biden while they were supporting Israel, bombing Hamas. I mean, not Hamas, but killing all the kids in Palestine and all this type of stuff in Gaza. And so they're looking at Kamala, like a lot of young people are looking at Kamala like she was part of that, the genocide thing. And then a lot of people are looking at her like she's not doing anything for black people. She actually said out her mouth, I'm not going to do anything to benefit just black people. No. Asked about reparations. When she talks about reparations, some people are like, yo, she's for reparations. No, she's not for reparations. She's saying that what she was calling the LIFT Act last time, and I haven't heard her mention it this time, but what she was calling the LIFT Act back when she was campaigning for the 2020 election, the LIFT Act will help everybody who makes less than $100,000 a year, right? So she's saying that because a lot of black people make less than $100,000 a year, that thing is going to help a lot of black people. It will, but it will also help everybody else. So that does not decrease, or that doesn't shrink the wealth gap when everybody is getting the same benefit. You understand what I'm saying? When everybody did not inherit the same struggles, or not struggles, but we're talking about the same systematic racism. Everybody didn't have to deal with that, but everybody's about to get the same hand up with this LIFT Act. So what you call the LIFT Act is not a form of reparations at all, but she keeps answering the reparations question with conversations about the LIFT Act. Shout out to her for playing with people like that because they fell for it. But I think that because I wasn't big on Kamala at any stage in this whole process, right? But I do think that she hasn't done anything to me. What I feel is so bad that she can't fix it with the right type of black agenda. But she has to have a black agenda for somebody like me. You can't just come here, think black people just owe you our vote, and you don't have a black agenda. You need to have a black agenda. I think it needs to be around jobs. I think it needs to be around money. I would love for it to be around reparations, real reparations, right? But if you feel like, oh, I just don't want to do that, whatever, jobs for sure, specifically for us. Stuff for the schooling, specifically for our schools. But I don't think some people, you're not getting their vote at all without a black agenda. That's just that. It's not a black man thing. It's not a black woman thing. You need an agenda specifically for us. You don't have any problem with an agenda specifically for immigrants and people want to come in the country. You don't have any problem with an agenda specifically for how y'all are going to support Israel for decades at a time. So I don't want to hear that you can't specifically help one group. That's a lie, because you have done it plenty of times. So that's how you get people like me, Ms. Harris, if you decide to watch this video. And honestly, y'all, let me see what the people, let's see. Stacy says she needs to get her boots on the ground. Come on, folks. I'm going to tell you something. Kamala Harris needs to get her boots on the ground in places outside of Atlanta. She has come to Atlanta so many times. Every time there's a local news report, like on Instagram or whatever, the local news posters post up that Kamala is coming to Atlanta again. I want y'all to go read the comments. Everybody, whether they're voting for her or not, are saying, why does she keep coming here? She needs to go somewhere else. And I think she does need to go somewhere else. I think she's actually hurting herself in this city by constantly coming here. The reason I think she's hurting herself is because you're coming here and this city is known as a black city. It's a black Mecca really right now. You come here every time and you never have not one time have you discussed, hey, this is our black agenda on this campaign trail. Hey, I'm about to run for president or I'm going to run for VP again, whatever. Here's our black agenda for you guys. And this is amazing black city and all that. She does not have a black agenda, yet you keep coming to this black city and your way to get the black vote is to go to different soul food restaurants when you come here, to go to HBCUs and march with them and all that. Like, that's disrespectful. Because it's like you think we're so stupid that we don't even need policy. You think we're so stupid that none of us want policy. No, the real thing is y'all keep on bringing people on camera with y'all the same way the Republicans do. All these politicians bring the black people on camera with them to take pictures that don't push any type of policy conversation with these people, right? They purposely leave those type of black people out of it. Now, you can feel how you want to feel about Yvette Carnell, right? But one thing about it is a lot of these politicians avoid her. The reason they avoid her is because, first of all, she used to work on Capitol Hill. She knows politics front and back. That's first. Secondly, she knows how to talk to politicians in a way that they can't avoid certain questions and conversations. So they avoid people like her that's only talking politics. Well, Yvette does a lot of different things that she shouldn't do. But they have, like, people in these political spaces, in these political power positions, need to stop avoiding the black people that actually care about politics and want to have a political conversation. We do not want parties. We do not want marches. We don't want you coming to our barbershops. We don't want you to eat at our soul food restaurants. We want you to sit down with people who care about politics and discuss it with them. And it'd be so much more simple. You would lose a lot of the critique that you get from black people if you just talk politics when it's time for politics. So, again, man, shout out to y'all. I actually, and I appreciate all the good insight. And look, I'm one of these people, right? I don't judge you for who you voting for, no matter which side you're voting for, right? I wish Cornel West could have been a stronger candidate. I don't know why he wasn't wasn't able to get more votes in the primaries and all that type of stuff. But he's also very old too. So, I wouldn't trip on the age thing as much if Biden wasn't clearly lapsing in his mental capacity. Cornel West, I haven't seen any like mental drops, so I would have voted for Cornel West for sure.